Hello folks, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Trevor, and this video I'm going to just demonstrate how I go about doing compilations of, in this case, vocals, but of course it can apply to anything else as well too. They could be guitar takes or whatever instrument. So up here we have the introduction and the first verse of a song which I've recorded recently. It's called Act Naturally. And I've covered the version by Buck Owens and the Buckaroos. I'll leave a link to that song in the description below if you'd like to listen to it. So let's just look specifically at the vocal tracks. Here it is, lead vocal. Now I've done 3 takes, 1, 2, and 3. The reason these 2 are grayed out is because they are muted. I recorded using takes, and that is set up here. And with takes, when you do the second one, the first one will mute automatically. So that's why I've done 1, 2, and the third one is still live. Now also too, the way that I like to do my vocals is just a section at a time. In this case, you can see it's just the verse. It ends there. And how I would set that up, I would first go to the top, just click and drag in the timeline to where the chorus starts, and I would put that onto loop, and then the recording will kick in over here. So I shall go from there up to the end again and click that one, which is punch in and punch out. So what will happen when I press record over here, it will start playing from the start of the loop. I'll get the introduction and then I can start my vocal. When it gets to the end, it'll come back and do another loop. So I can do my 3 takes like that. Now some people prefer to do the whole vocal and let it loop. The problem I see with that is that, it can be a little bit tiresome if the singer's going to put all his effort into the whole song and then have to do the whole thing again from the beginning. By the time he gets to the 3rd, 4th, or sometimes even 5th or more takes, he's not going to really be up to it. So I'd suggest doing it this way, just a verse at a time, and then move on to the next section, which in this case would be the chorus, and so on until you complete the song. Now, obviously, you would need a backing in place, and this is stuff that I've all recorded myself. I'm just going to mute the lead vocal and the harmony. Let's just put this back to the start, and I'm going to press play, and you can hear that the backing is there, so that I'm going to be singing to that backing. Now I want to just point out that these balances here, the volumes and the pans, they are just approximate for now. That's not the final product yet. It's just something that I can hear in the background as I sing. So the backing goes like this. Starts here. Right, you get the idea, I'm sure. Okay, let's have a look now at my method of working. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the lead vocal. And the first thing I'll do, I'm going to move it to the top of the screen here. And the way I do that is just click and drag it up to the top. Now my reason for that is I want this to be as big as possible. So I'm now going to just hover over here. You notice how the cursor changes, and I can just drag that down. Right, obviously unmuted. Okay, so now I've got my verse, which I'm going to be working on. Now, if you have a look and see here, it's very clear that it's divided into several phrases. Here's phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, and so on. Now, I like to split them into phrases. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't want snapping on. I'm going to turn snapping off, and then I'm going to place my playhead more or less over here where it's going to split. You can see that's going to split between the 2 phrases. Now, what I do is I'm going to click and drag 1, 2, 3, so all 3 tracks are selected. All I then do is click Control and T. That'll split all 3 of them. So there we go. The first phrase is split up. We'll do the same with the second one here. We'll place that there. That's okay. Control T. Of course, another way you could do it is the scissors method, which is Control Alt, and you get the scissors there, and you could just cut them like that. Right, okay, so now I've got my verse divided up into 4 phrases, and I'm now going to go through each one individually and just check which I feel is the best. In other words, the one that I'm going to keep. So let's just see how I'm going to do that. So now, first of all, I want these all to be live. I'm not going to play it with the backing. The backing was just there to get me on track for laying down the vocal. So now I'm going to listen to each little section here in turn. They're gonna put me in the movies. Number 2. They're gonna put me in the movies. Bit wonky on the end. They're gonna put me in the movies. Even more wonky. So I like take number 1 on this one. So that one I can click on there. I can click Control. And then these 2 I can delete. So let's do the second one. We'll start there, make it live. They're gonna make a big star out of me. They're gonna make a big star out of me. They're gonna make a big star out of me. Okay, definitely not that one. And I think I prefer number 2 here. So I will delete that one. Now, just to save time, I'm going to just go through and just finish the rest of this verse. Right, so here we are back again. I liked number 2 there, number 3 here, but the first part of number 2 I prefer. Let's just listen to it quickly. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Too much yeah on the end there. And all I gotta do is act naturally. So I want to keep part 2 here. So again, I'm going to just, with my mouse wheel, enlarge a little bit. I'm going to take that part, and I don't want that one there, and I'm going to delete that part there. So I've got the first part of take 2, and the second half is on take 3. Okay, finally then, I'm going to just move everything up to the top. So just highlight them all. Just put Shift, move it up. If you're using a later version, version 10, it would be Control and Shift. But this is version 8, and it's just Shift to take it up to the top. Right, so what I do next is obviously just work my way through the song, doing the whole lot like that. When I've finished, I'm going to end up with a whole lot of takes here in the top row from different compilations, and I would then just select them all. Okay, I'm not going to go right through to the end because I haven't finished the song, but select them all and merge them, which is Control and W. So now I'll have everything merged in one take, and I could then just delete these extra lanes here, bringing it back to one lane. Again, I won't do it because I've got other takes there. So then to finalize the vocals, I would just put them through Melodyne and check for timing and pitch issues, if there's any. Right, I think that is it for this video. Thank you. I do hope that you found it useful. Take care and see you soon.